Hello world, this is Hans from Project Lights Out, and today, I don't know if you believe it or not, but today I have a very interesting interview here because some days ago I made a new friendship on Facebook with a very nice person. I mean, I don't know her in person, but here from Skype, and I think it's important that you know about what's going on. It's really a breaking news. So. In fact, there's no script. There's no. I mean, I don't have any idea what will going on here on that program. This is the first time that I have her here on Skype. We just make the contact, but let's use that moment to get the truth out. So I will introduce you to Rain Jones, or her name actually is Rainetta Jones. So hello, how are you?
Hi Hans, how are you?
I'm fine here, surviving, you know, because I mean, people who know me already, they know that I'm trying to get uh, the world saved and whatever, and doing the best I can do that the people know the truth. So, where are you from?
Originally, I'm from the Twin Island country of Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay,
However, I grew up in the States in New York.
okay. So I guess you're living right now in New York, right?
I'm living in New York, but I'm actually away in Trinidad for a little bit. I
Okay.
needed to leave New York to get a break.
Okay. So, okay. I saw, I mean, I have to look on my other computer. Here is a post on your Facebook wall. It says that you're the original inventor of Ipod and Kindle and all that stuff. And that is something I was thinking, how is that possible? I mean, I know just that Apple has, for example, the iPod and iPhone and everything. So you are actually the inventor?
Yes, actually, I'm the one that came up with the whole concept of changing the way we interact with music. And I did it 15 years ago when it did not exist. It was a different climate 15 years ago. It was a Walkman climate,
Yeah.
and it was not a climate for the types of devices that we have today that's on the market. And if you like, I can give you the history as to how it came about.
Okay. Uh, what we can do is, because this is for YouTube, so down on that video, I can write all the links to your Facebook or to the things you want that I publish. It's a pleasure for me to give the information out. And so people, they just have to read the information of that video, and then they can find the links and click on it and see what's going on. So, okay, tell me tell me a little bit more, because okay, you said it's 15 years ago, right? That you had
Yep,
the
15
idea.
years ago.
Okay, and but how did you? Okay, you were just thinking it would be possible to make this, or do you have any more? I don't know, like a plan, or I don't know, a design for that? It's actually in the stores.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. What
Uh,
you'd like to know is what was the inspiration behind the iPod and behind Kindle. Is that
yeah,
what you're asking?
yeah. The inspir. Okay, everything. Say the inspiration and um, for example, if you have that idea, did you
Hmm.
go there to Apple for? I
I
mean,
see. Okay, how
to the
did
people.
Apple get it?
Exactly.
Okay,
Tell
great.
us the
Oh,
whole story.
so what I'll do is I'll just give you the basic story of how
Yeah.
today we have the Kindle and the iPod on the market.
Right.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. 15 years ago, well, I should say 16 years ago, I went to school in Europe in
Okay.
University of Sheffield, and I was really disenfranchised with like university and stuff like that. And I came back to New York and I decided, excuse me, I decided to take a break. But as a college student, my brain didn't take a break. And one of the things that led to the iPod and led to the Kindle was the fact that as a college student, there are two things you always carry, right?
Okay.
One of those things was a Walkman, and the other was a really heavy textbook. Do you agree?
Yes, of course. In fact,
Right?
I used a lot the Walkman in the past, then later the Discman and the MP3 players and whatever, and now, yeah, the cell phones which do the same work.
Right, right. That's basically how the idea originated. I
Mm.
hated the fact, I utterly hated the fact that I had to walk around with this walk. And let me just cite up really quickly.
Yeah.
Because of these two things, I'm a targeted individual. Just to
Oh
just
my
to
God.
make that clear.
Okay, yeah, that will be another question later. Okay, but let's focus first on that.
Okay, no
iPod.
problem.
Okay.
So the idea for the iPod came out of my utter hatred
Mm.
for carrying around Walkman, and it was really it was really a practical idea.
Yeah.
I'm getting some feedback, Hans.
I don't know why. Here everything is okay. It might be
It's
the
okay.
internet connection. I hear you very clearly
Oh, the
and
connection.
okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. All right. So the practicality behind the iPod was a really simple one. It was I hated having to buy batteries every hour, then combined with walking around with the CD that can drop, scratch, lose, break, get destroyed. And then the Walkman 15 years ago were really heavy.
Mhm.
So anyone, I mean, the younger generation today,
Right.
they won't know what life is like without an iPod. It changed culture
Yeah.
and had such an impact on culture today. The younger generation, they have no clue what it means to walk around with a Sony, a CD player.
Right. Uh-huh.
So yeah, so the iPod came out of that. I began to like illustrate, and I said to myself, surely there's a better way to do this. And I illustrated in short what the device would look like. And
Mhm.
I said, you know what, this device and this whole system has to be online. Now I'm gonna take your audience back 15 years ago, and I want your audience to grab a pen and paper, and I want them to be able to like do some fact checking.
Mhm.
Is that okay?
Yes, of course.
Yep. Okay. So uh, did I say 2,000 years ago or 15 years ago? I think that was a mistake. I meant to say in 2000.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah,
in
2000.
2000, we're looking at coming out of Y2K. This was the tech crisis, right?
Right,
We
I
came out of
remember.
Y2K,
Uh-huh.
and the tech industry losing a lot of money because crunch, right? And companies like Apple were going bankrupt. In fact, Apple was going bankrupt from 1996, and Bill Gates injected $150 million into Apple. And there was a huge tech bubble burst, and that was the climate because there was nothing innovative, there was nothing new, there was nothing that was game changer, there was nothing that the tech companies were coming up with that really changed the game, and tech companies were losing money. So the audience can do a fact check
Uh-huh.
and look at the climate of what was happening in the tech industry, right?
Right.
The second thing we have to pay attention to is the music industry was also losing millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, if you look at my product, it is a merger between modern technology, music entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right,
So
right.
we look at the climate of the music industry. The
Uh-huh.
music industry and the record labels were losing millions of dollars. You can go back and fact check. They were
Correct.
losing millions of dollars, not because there was some sort of entertainment bubble burst, no, but because of Napster.
Right,
The
Napster. I
record.
remember I downloaded a lot of MP3 at that time.
Exactly. You right. So Napster saw that the gap, there was a gap in the way music was distributed.
Hmm.
And Napster took that niche and began to milk that niche, and they came out extremely rich and really profitable. So but Napster was not what I created. Napster created P2P file sharing, which is different. You have a set of music MP3.
Uh-huh.
I have a set of music MP3s, and Napster created a way for us to file share, and this was causing the record industry millions of dollars a year.
Yeah, it's a lot of money they make. Yeah.
I
Mhm. Go ahead.
Are you there?
Yeah. It's a little bit sound problem here too. I mean, I understand you, but sometimes the sound is going away and back or something like that. But it's enough to understand you. Go ahead.
Okay, okay, great.
Uh,
So what we see here is see a climate of decline in the tech industry, and we also see a climate of decline in the music industry. So I basically walked into that environment, and I walked in naive about the tech industry and how they run business, and I was naive about the music industry and how they ran business. I was a 20-year-old. So that would give you my mindset, you know?
mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So I called up my friend. I had a friend who lived in Manhattan in New York City, and he owned a record label. And his record label, now I knew my friend as a classical pianist, okay?
Yeah.
I didn't know him as an engineer. I only knew him then as a classical pianist. And I called him up and I said to him, I said, hey, listen, I have this business proposal I'd like to speak to you about. And he said, yeah, he said, come over, come
Mm-hmm.
over. I'm waiting for you at my office, and it was kind of friendship that was really open. He would, if I called him up and he would like, he would say, yeah, come over. It was never anything that was really formal or stuffy so of course my guard was down.
Mm-hmm.
20 years old, and I looked at this device and I said, you know what? At least I should get a patent for this,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
I didn't know as a 20-year-old what I could have got was a design pattern. I didn't have to get a patent where you actually have to create a prototype.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that then. Again, I was a 20-year naive person. But anyway, I'll tell you how I came up with the Kindle at the meeting.
Okay.
So I go to the meeting and he looks stressed out and I'm like, hey, David, his name is David Chester, by the way. I said, hey David, what's you look stressed. And that's when he proceeded to tell me, he said, look, the music industry is losing like millions of dollars. Now I sat there and I listened to him. He said, well, a lot of money. The only thing to do is literally sue Napster. I proceeded to tell him, I said, that's kind of like why I'm here. I said,
Uh,
look, the problem with the music industry is that they're outdated. I said, people have to purchase a Sony Walkman, CD player. I said, they have to buy a CD and they have to buy battery.
mm-hmm.
And I said, the problem with that is that it's not functional. I said, the whole system needs to be online. And I told him, I said, this is why I called you. I said, I called you because I said, I created this device. But again, I just came out of college and I didn't have the money to get a patent. And I said to him, this is why I called you. I need to get pattern because I came up with this device. And I said, all you do is you go online. The companies just have a database online for their music, and the customer just downloads music directly to their device.
Yeah.
No CDs, eliminate CDs, battery, because you can charge it the electrical outlet in your wall. I said, no CDs, no batteries, and I said, it's easy and it's on the go. And I said, it's lightweight, it's not heavy like a CD player, you know. It doesn't like, you know, it's
Exactly.
not fragile because the app is more durable than a CD player, right?
Right, right. In fact, right now we
Yeah, it's a
have
lot more.
iTunes to get the music downloaded.
Say that again?
I mean, now, I mean, from your idea, I think they created the iTunes, where you can download the music.
Exa- Oh my God, you understand clearly what transpired.
Yeah.
Understand, you have a clear understanding of what transpired. So this is what he said to me. He looks at me and he says to me, no one would buy it.
Uh-huh.
And I just sat there looking at him like, huh? He's like, no one would buy it. They would put record companies,
Uh-huh.
the distributors. Remember A&R World and
Yeah.
all the other record distributors?
Yeah.
Do you remember them? Where you go into the store and you buy a CD, you stand in line or you go and
Of
listen.
course. Uh-huh. Yeah.
This is the remember to the young people today. They don't remember this,
Hmm.
right? They
Yeah.
just go online and they download their music. They don't have to go and wait in a store
Yeah.
to buy a
Actually, here
CD.
Mexico
Or
City, Mexico City, we have still the mix up. You know, it sounds like it's an American company. You can buy there still CDs and all that things, even like tickets for concerts. The name is Mix Up here, which still does that. There was a rock, Tower Rock Records or something, another company. I don't know if they are still there. I haven't seen them in a while, but yeah, I remember all that.
right, exactly. But I'm if the average like 16-year-old would remember,
Hmm.
downloading their music, they remember like standing
Yeah,
online, yeah, waiting to like, buy a CD,
yeah.
the 60-year-olds today, but clearly we remember that, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm 50 years old. I went through all this. I mean, I lived even the world without cell phones and internet and all this. So funny.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the point. It was like 15 years ago. This is how far,
Yeah.
this is how far we came. It's a totally different climate,
Uh-huh.
right?
Let
Yeah.
me tell you
So
a little bit what I mean. When I founded Project Lights Out 2007, I mean, I had internet at that time, of course. So I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice to watch TV or movies on the internet and not just pages. And there was coming up YouTube and other similar websites where you could upload videos or music or whatever, listen them with the computer. I was thinking, but it was 2007. I mean, you were talking about 2000 when when you had the idea. So I made I had the idea for example, why it wouldn't be great to have like have here a little it's not a cell phone. This is how you
tablet.
a tablet exactly to if you are outside of your house and I mean you cannot take the whole computer with the big monitor and whatever. Would be great to have everything here. To read a book, to read the news, so you don't spend money on buying everyday newspapers. You can save trees with that because you don't have to kill the trees to make the newspapers. The wood. So I was thinking that also in the past, and then suddenly we have that all here. So okay, but you
Right,
had
right.
all the idea, yeah, in the year 2000. Okay, go ahead. Very interesting
Yeah,
talking to
just
you.
to, just to give you a quick side note.
Yeah.
Whenever, okay, let me see how I can say this.
Mm.
Because the world today is so connected,
Right.
because there's so much interconnectivity, the moment you think of the idea, my advice to you is write it down and publish it. So that way, under certain convention, if it's non-existent,
Right.
you would be given the right of first author,
Exactly. In
right?
fact, what I think, because I have talked to a lot of IT TIs, no ITs, TIs, mind control victims and everything, and there's a technology outside that they can go into our brains and read what we're thinking, or I mean, if you're typing something in the internet now, there's the Windows 10. They got directly the information. I mean. What you're thinking or what you're typing, this is going out, and then they can use all those ideas to work on them and whatever they want to do. They do that. I mean,
Yeah,
we are actually, I mean, you and me, for example, and all the other billions on the planet with great ideas. They can just steal them and make profit with that, and sell the stuff. Yeah. Okay.
that's my point.
Exactly.
See, in doing my preliminary research, because
Uh-huh.
I just woke up to the fact this year
Yeah.
that, oh my God, the reason why my life was destroyed is because of this meeting 15 years ago,
Oh God. Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
And understanding now the whole concept of RNM, remote neural monitoring.
Okay.
I think that's what you're talking about. How
Yeah.
we can remotely monitor your brainwave, your thoughts,
Yeah. Many things. I mean.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean. There's a theory going out there, which people think all the new towers. Officially they say it's cell phone towers because of the signal, that the people get better signal, but other people think that it's also like a weapon with they are spreading out microwaves or whatever. I don't know. I mean, it's very hard for a normal person to go there and open the box and check it out, because I mean, I know technology, but I don't know what for example a chip is exactly doing. I mean, you really would need some really specialists analyze one of those towers, for example, and say, oh, this is nothing for cell phones, this is something different or whatever. That would be great to
Right.
cover it up, what's going on with those towers, for example. But yeah, but for example, let me tell you what I have researched also about that new Windows 10. I mean, it's now for free, so I mean nothing is for free. So that was my first idea. There's something hidden there. But they say if you install the new Windows 10 and go to the personal installation, and you take away all those checking stuff, where you say, I don't agree that they listen to my microphone, I don't agree that they send the things there. I not even think that is working, that I mean, because if it would work, everybody would just take away all those recommendations, listen at your microphone, etc., and then nothing happens. But I mean, I'm sure because of all those spying on Facebook, even on Skype, maybe that's why the conversation is a little bit uh, weak here. But I think everything what is online is getting heard from other people, from the NSA or from the CIA or whatever. I mean, they know exactly what's going on. Even I remember when I was young, and there was no internet at all, and just phone calls. They even had at that time, and that was like in the 70s, 80s, they had special computers who recognize words. For example, if you are talking and suddenly you're talking about drugs or about killing, etc. And then at that moment, that kind of information goes to another filter or whatever, and then at the end, someone is really listening at your conversation. Now, with all the technology, face recognition, voice recognition, and whatever, I mean, you don't even need so many people listening actually at you, because it's all the computers. And then maybe there's what I think, there will be for sure an office with or a big building where everybody is just listening to the most important thing, which is against the government, for example, and then they can attack us or follow us or whatever, I mean, uh, I don't believe in any privacy at all. That's my point. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. I agree with you 100% because,
Uh-huh.
I mean, I woke up this year and I realized the reason why my life took such a degenerative progression
Uh-huh.
was because of this meeting 15 years ago.
Yeah.
One of the things that the former CEO of Apple said when he had an interview, he said, look, we are shameless about stealing great ideas.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay? This is
Okay.
Steve Jobs now.
He said that. He's
Yes,
dead
you can
now.
YouTube this. Steve Jobs,
Mm-hmm.
theft of great ideas.
Okay.
And this was a public interview. He said, we make it clear.
Okay.
We are shameless about stealing great ideas.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, with those words, he just admitted it, right?
Of course,
Mm-hmm.
of course.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things, let me go back to the story.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what my friend said. So then I proceeded to tell him about the Kindle. And the Kindle was the same practical thought process. Now, I came up with this in 2000. I told him this. The
Okay.
Kindle was launched in, I believe it was 2000 and, I always mix up the date, 2007.
I don't remember, but something like
I
that.
believe
Uh-huh.
it's November 19, 2007, the Kindle was launched. I came up with this in 2000 in that business meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And now Kindle is Amazon, Ipod is Apple,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I'll show you how they're connected. I'll show you how they're connected. So I told him in the meeting, okay, look, the other thing I came up with was this device again. I said, you connect it to the internet. I said, all the sellers, the booksellers would have a database, or the publishers would have a database of online.
Uh-huh.
I said, you download, the consumer would download the book to their device
Okay.
and eliminating the need for having, home library,
Exactly.
right? You would have an e-library
Right.
and eliminate the need for college students and young children to have to carry these extremely heavy textbooks, right? So
Right.
again, this was the natural progression of where I was thinking. I was as a college student wanting to get rid of, that music device and wanting to get rid of that carrying those heavy textbooks,
Uh-huh.
right? I didn't look at the thing in terms of, oh my God, this is a gold mine. Oh my God, this is going to change the way we interact with music. It's going to change the way we interact with books and technology.
Uh-huh.
Had I thought about that then, I think I would have done things differently. Now I'll tell you this, and I'll send you via email the photos to prove this.
Okay.
Now let me jump to 2015. 2015 is when I woke up and I realized, hey, listen, maybe my life was destroyed because of that meeting 15 years ago, right?
Uh-huh.
The things I told him in the meeting, look, because he indicated, look, problem is NAPSA was just basically overlooking copyright law, and they were just making copies of copywritten material.
Mm-hmm.
So I said to him, look, this is, I picked up, I said, something's wrong here with Apple. This is when I realized, I said, my work is in the hands of Apple. And that began my journey and quest to find out how my work got into Apple's hands.
Mm-hmm.
And everything pointed to my friend, my so-called 15 years ago. I said to him in the meeting, I said, look, I said, what needs to be done is when they download the music from the internet to the device, I said, you have to encrypt the music so that you only allow the consumer to copy the music twice. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah.
Because we were dealing with Napster and unlimited copyright or
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the
overriding
copyrights, right?
copyright making
Uh-huh.
multiple copies. And this is how they were losing money. I said, what has to be done is you encrypt the music because it's going to be online. You can make the MP3, but encrypt it so that you're only limited to 2 copies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
One you download to your computer.
uh-huh. I mean, for the people who don't know what is encrypted, that means only if you have the program to read that information, then you can listen or watch it or whatever, you know, because when it's without encryption, then it's readable or visible for everybody. So that's why they make that business, you know, because you have to pay for that, use that kind of information. Okay.
Right. Think of it just think of it like a lock for your door. You have a house,
Mhm.
you put a lock on your door, right? Because
Exactly.
you don't want everyone to have access to your house.
Yeah, you need the key.
So yeah, exactly. Then you would have the key that fits with the lock in your door. That's it,
Exactly.
right?
Right.
So
It's a good
basically, that's what
example,
I
yeah, with
said
the
to him. I
key.
said because the sorry.
Uh-huh. No, I said it's a good example with the key because without key you cannot enter to the house, you know. Okay.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Exactly.
And I told him, I said, look, this is what's missing in the music industry. They're missing encryption. They're missing some sort of code or security code in
Uh-huh.
the written material, in the music, in the on the book. I said, and this is why NAPSA saw a niche. They saw an open market and they grabbed it.
Uh-huh.
And I said, this is why they're losing money. So anyway, so let's just jump forward. So when I woke up this year and I realized, I said, wait, I said, I think I think my friend could have like betrayed me, you know, and somehow what got into the hands of Apple.
Uh-huh.
Because I said my life degenerated. His life, basically, he became, one of the most respected artists in the music industry because this same person in 2007
Uh-huh.
and in 2008 created high definition digital music download.
Okay.
Get it?
Yeah.
You there, Hans?
Yes, I'm there. I'm listening to you. Yeah. That's okay.
So
Go ahead.
we went from an environment where there was no activity of digital music in 2000, right?
Uh-huh.
Apple came in somehow. Apple just basically set up the whole system and dominates that market, right?
Right.
And then the person that I went to 15 years ago, happened. All the engineers worldwide. There are music engineers and there are electrical engineers and there are all kinds of engineers worldwide, right? He
Right.
happens to be the one that came up HD track, which is high definition digital download.
Okay.
I mean, what's the irony,
Huh.
right?
Right. 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 Okay.
What's the irony? I mean, you could go online and prove it. I told you his name. His name is David Chesky, and he operates Chesky Records.
Okay.
So this is so, and he is well respected now because of this in the music industry. But my life, I have become, you know, put to this program because of it,
Wow. Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
These are the, yeah, basically. So anyway, when I woke up this year, I decided, I said, you know what, I need to do some research into this, because I'm like, this is my work. This is mine. When I
Yeah.
began to look closer at the Apple and Kindle, I said, this is my work. And I was like, I need to find out how I will get into the hands of the CEO of Apple and of Amazon, Jeff Bezos.
Hmm.
One of the things we need to understand is the culture of my.
Yeah. I
So
mean.
here's what I did. I emailed him
Okay.
here, earlier this year, and I said to him, hey, hey, David, how are you? You know, "Hey, I'm fine." I said, I want to ask you a question. Do you remember the meeting we had 15 years ago about, these two products on the market today, the iPod and Kindle? He basically said to me, oh, I don't remember 15 years ago, long time. I said, remember we had that meeting 15 years ago when I told you about, you told me about how Sony, because he was telling me that Sony in
Hmm.
particular was losing millions of dollars.
Hmm.
And I was like, okay. And I told him how Sony could fix the problem by changing the paradigm and putting everything online.
Hmm.
He said to me, no, I really don't remember. So I went, I probed his brain some more. And then he said, look, maybe you were ahead of your time. This is what he said in the email. Maybe you were ahead of your time. We have those products on the market now. iPod has the Kindle. You know, um, he didn't mention Amazon, but he said, that Amazon iPod has the Kindle, and he said, he talked about Sony and he talked about Samsung.
Hmm.
He said to bring those things to market is not going to cost you millions of dollars. He said we're looking at. He said it's going to cost years of research. He said we did not have those things then. These things he said, when you came to me, those things did not exist. That system had to be built from the ground. So this is someone I did not know was an engineer,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Because I knew him as a classical pianist. I did not know him as an engineer.
Okay.
So he said, look, those things didn't exist then. He said that it had to be built from the ground up. And he said, we're looking at hundreds of millions of dollars and years of research,
Yeah.
which is contrary to how Apple came up and launched the iPod. It's completely contrary to how it came about. Apple took 10 months to bring their product to the market, and they did it with limited budget and improved it.
Hmm.
He said to me, look, and we do that. And in the email, he wrote, we do that here. When I read that, I said, but he didn't tell me 15 years ago. He didn't tell me that they systems for music um, years ago. He told me one would buy it.
Yeah.
So that's what I said. I need to do some more research on my so-called friend. And that's what I discovered. He is the inventor of HD tracks, which is high definition sound.
Hmm.
And I'm like, hey, what I told him 15 years ago,
Yeah.
you
Incredible.
know? I
Uh-huh.
said, and he basically found a niche in the market. He found a niche in the market in digital music download. He basically found a niche in the market which was high definition sound for digital downloads, right?
Okay.
I'm like, of all the worldwide, he's the one who came up with high definition or HD, HD sound
Uh-huh.
or high definition digital download. I'm
Okay.
like, okay, that's weird. So you know what? I need to do some more research. I really need to probe some more. So anyway, I began to probe like do my own research into Apple, and I discovered that in 1978 to 1981, Lennon had an Apple. Do you have an idea about that?
About what? Sorry, I
John
didn't
Lennon,
get the last.
Apple Records.
Apple record. Okay.
Are you there?
Yeah, yeah. That's some sound problems, but I'm still there. No problem. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. John Lennon had an Apple Record, right?
Hmm.
Right.
Right.
And Steve Jobs had an Apple computers.
Okay.
Steve Jobs' Apple kept infringing on John Lennon's Apple trademark, and John Lennon Apple Records court, right?
Okay.
In 1978 and 1981, a judge, a Supreme Court judge, ruled that Apple computers was never allowed to enter the music industry.
Okay.
Apple Records was never allowed to enter the computer industry.
Huh.
1978 to 1981. You can research this. The ruling stated clearly Apple computers was never supposed to enter the music industry, and it was clear no price for music and no music at all
Okay.
because they were infringing on the rights of Apple Records. Now, when we look at that ruling of 1981 to 2000, we have to ask the question, how did Apple computers
Uh
bring my product to market,
huh.
right?
Right.
If there was a ruling in 1981 that said you were not allowed to enter the music industry.
Okay.
Now, some later, Apple computers got the, all the trademark rights for Apple Records, and they had to pay out royalties to Apple Music,
Yeah.
right?
Right. A
But
lot of
nowhere
money.
did I see things were turned that permitted Apple. There was no clear legal rule that said, okay, Apple now has the right to enter the music industry,
Okay.
okay, and they can start producing technological devices for music, and they could start, they could do things like digital music download. There is no actual ruling that overturned the original ruling.
Hmm.
Yet Apple in 2000 brought my product to market, and I want to tell you how it was done. 2001. Now, in 2001, September 11th, Apple started working on the iPod in January 2001, okay,
Okay.
on a limited budget because they were in the red. And they rotated engineers, okay, because again, it was a limited budget. Contrary to what my so called insider friend, who was a Grammy nominee, meanwhile, my friend was a Grammy nominee and won several awards um, um, in the music industry. So he's an insider.
Okay.
We're not looking at a person who like, fly by night. No, this person is an insider
Insider.
in the music industry. And he also has his company, um, he's also recognized with all the major record labels, all of them, every single record label in the music industry
Uh-huh.
knows them on a personal level, a business level as well.
Yeah.
He's a big insider. This is the person that I went to at 20 years old. So we see here that Apple started working on the iPod in January on a limited budget, and they rotated engineers because again they were in the red.
Yeah.
September 11th occurred. Now around that time, I had a best friend, and my best friend, her name is Matilda Morgan. Her last name is right now because the last I heard of her, she's married. I don't know her anymore. I don't know her anymore. Um, yes, but my best friend then to me, hey, look, Rain, this guy follows you all over the place. What's going on with this? She's like, every time we go somewhere, I see the same guy following you. So I said, okay, she's crazy, whatever. I was like, no. She's like, no, seriously, everywhere you go, this guy keeps following you. So I said to her, I said, look, okay, let's go. So we went and spoke to him, and I was like, look, this is kind of weird. He um he said, he was a former Russian. He was in the Russian military, right? I'm not gonna go into too much details about,
Okay.
but
Oh,
that's basically what we know about him. I said, look, he's just kind of weird. I was like, he's harmless. I was like, you know what? I said, to be safe, let's just chat and get to know him and stuff like that. He said, okay, okay, fine. Anyway, so I built up a friendship with this guy. Seemed pretty cool. He was just did some crazy antics. I just thought he was kind of like, okay, he's kind of out there, it's New York.
okay.
So anyway, in October 24th. Now note this: the iPod was launched October 23rd, 2001. He came to me and said, I have a business meeting in London. Would you like to go with me? So I said to him, sure, why not? When I looked at my passport, and I will send you these documents.
Mhm.
Passport was stamped on October 21st by immigration through airport. And when I left and I entered, it was October 26th. The iPod was launched when I was outside of the country.
Mhm.
Get it, Hans?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Isn't that something?
I got it. I
I
got it.
have the document. Did you say something?
No, no, no. I said I understood you. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I have the stamps on my passport to prove it. Okay, the iPod was launched October 23rd. I was taken to London in a business meeting October 21st, and I was brought back October 25th. Basically, when the iPod was launched in the US,
Okay.
it was taken outside of the country, right?
Okay. Right. Yeah.
So now going back to, I decided to do some research, and I said, you know what? Maybe I said, maybe it's me. Maybe the iPod is not mine. I said then. So I had a mindset that okay, I'm gonna disprove that the iPod is mine. So I decided to research how Steve Jobs came up with the iPod.
Yeah.
Now, when I began to do my research, three instances came about. The first one was a guy named Tony Fadell, Fadel. Now, Steve Jobs attributed the iPod's creation to this guy, Tony Fadell, and I believe Tony was one of the engineers that worked on the iPod. However, more research, I saw that company by the name of BURST.com sued Steve Jobs and said, look, iPod is out now. Instead of citing Tony Fadell, Apple called a guy living in England named K. Kramer, K
Uh-huh.
with a K, Kramer with a K, and said in 1979, this guy invented the iPod and we stole it from him. But the problem with that story is that Apple contacted him, used him to defend Apple against Burst,
Against whom?
and
Sorry.
only paid him a consultation fee, royalties. I said to myself, but that's crazy. If you're the host of the iPod, you're not getting royalties from Apple. You were just paid a consultation fee. Crazy.
Uh-huh.
Apple used you and said you invented the iPod. Then I was doing some more research, and when Apple sued first, there was an article that said, and this is what was written in the article, whether Steve Jobs got the iPod from Kane Kramer or from someone else, we will never know.
Okay.
So I said, okay, strange. Because again, you have to see that these corporations have strong ties with the media. Okay? So when I read a journalist wrote, whether Steve Jobs got the iPod from Kane Kramer or from someone else, we would never know. So I said to myself, who's the someone else?
Mm-hmm.
Then I discovered Steve Jobs again said, oh, the inspiration for the iPod came from CEO of Sony, AKIO, Akio Morita. I said, whoa, 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 whoa. Come from Tony Fadell? Did it come from Kate Kramer? Did it come from the someone else that was written in the article? Or did it come from the CEO of Sony? So I said to myself, I said, it seems like, Mr. Jobs can't figure out who really gave him the inspiration
Uh-huh.
for, nowhere did it say, nowhere did it say the inspiration for the iPod came from all the sources. In several different instances, like, no, 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 no. The iPod actually came from here. It actually came from here. No, it actually came from there. Well, it actually came from here. Or it may not even come from any of them, but this mysterious person that we'll never know about. So this is what I put these names there. That anyone who wants to do research can research and see that the different names and the different people attributed to the creation of the iPod.
Yeah. Wow.
The fact that Apple defended themselves against a company that was suing for the iPod and used someone that doesn't get royalties, it's outrageous. Am I wrong to think that this is kind of strange? You invented the iPod and you don't get royalties from Apple, you were paid a tiny consultation fee.
What a story. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. I
Huh?
say, what a story. What a story. They never gave you some credit or some money or something for all that.
Not even. Actually, my life was destroyed because of it.
Huh.
And this is why I'm going on record, because I want people to understand, look, if you're an inventor, you are an inventor. I came up with this strategy so that people could understand, if you're an inventor, you have to employ these three types of protocol to your invention to protect yourself. One of the things I say that you should do is publish. And I'm adamant about this as a means of protection. Because as a publisher, meaning when you put it online, okay, it gets classified as a publishing.
Mhm.
And under the BERNE Convention, under the Universal Copyright Convention, okay, you have protection as a publisher,
Right.
right? So it's imperative that everyone who designs and who creates things, if you're using a computer, okay, it's
Mhm.
important that, if you can protect your idea with publishing it, that's great. But if you can't, it's safer for you to publish it with your name and the date, because it can be used in a court of law.
Mhm.
As long as your name is on there and the date is on there, and you've given a history that this is not in the public domain,
Right.
it can be used in a court of law to prove who has the first authorship. Okay, so if anyone infringes on that, you can sue, rightfully so, and you can win,
Exactly. Right.
right?
Yeah. It's very important always to put your name officially on a paper or something like that, because if it's just words, pay with their lawyers and all the money they destroy you, you know. But if you have your name on an official document, a patent or whatever, then there's some chance, right?
Yeah, the other thing too is that in 2014, when I was preparing to come to Trinidad, I
Mm-hmm.
began to like watch the news because before you go to a country, you want to know the climate, you want to know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2015, and this is what alerted me. Remember, I told you I woke up in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
In 2014, I saw your listeners can go and review this. In
Mm-hmm.
2014, Apple submitted the patent for the smartwatch in Trinidad and Tobago, where I am now.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine that?
Mm-hmm. Oh.
You there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm there. Yeah, it's getting a little sound problem over here, but it's exactly, well, you can really understand it if you pay a good attention. I hope that the people don't get away from the video because it's good information here. Okay, continue.
No problem. So when I saw this in the news, I immediately went, oh God. So I began to like look and I said the intellectual property office.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. They filed a patent in Trinidad and Tobago intellectual property office.
Uh-huh.
And I was reminded of 15 to well, now that I woke up, I was reminded of 15 years ago. I wanted to and patent this said invention. And my friend said to me, no, you can't, because no one would buy it.
Yeah.
And somehow it got on the market. The second thing is that Microsoft came here, they already had a base here, and they said, no, we want to expand from this region. And these two things alerted me, and I said to myself, I said, okay, I'm getting ready to come to Trinidad, and
Uh-huh.
Apple files for the smartwatch patent. Oh, you can Google this, by the way.
Yeah.
Files for smartwatch patent in Trinidad. So I said to myself, I can't go to the intellectual property office.
Mm-hmm.
I said because it may not be safe, because that's another thing that takes place. They put agents, if they know that you have a history of inventing things and creating things, they put their agents there.
Mm-hmm.
They put their agents at the patent office. They put their agents in government. They
Yeah.
put their agents in, I mean,
They're
they put a
everywhere.
whole network of people to
Uh-huh.
monitor you. Yeah, yeah, and make sure that you do not succeed in whatever you try to do, because they don't want you to rise up, the real owner to rise up and say, that's mine and I can prove it. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So they launch a whole network against a person. So that's the climate I walked into.
Yeah.
That's the climate I walked into. And this is my life as a result of this. I also invented a new type of accessory. You can see this on my website.
Okay.
I also invented a new kind of stocking, and I went not suspecting my friend. I went back to my friend, the same friend, with this. He directed me to a friend of his who also invented um, a hosiery where she put bright colors in stockings. She's the creator of stockings, HUE stockings. It's huge in the US, right? He directed me to her name is Kathy. He directed me to her, and she basically looked at my work and she gave me an assessment and told me, okay, this is the direction that I would go. She said, look, you can patent your stockings. She said, but you have to be careful that the game changers like Victoria's Secret doesn't see it. So while I was working on starting the company, I literally had the name for the company. I had the company, like what we called each kind of stocking, and I was working with the Italian a business partner.
Uh-huh.
Disappeared. I mean, literally in the middle of starting this, she dis- she literally disappeared. And when I began to search my network, everyone, we don't know what happened to her. I never saw her after she disappeared. So again, this is the kind of environment that I walked into.
Oh. Oops.
However, I've been searching and searching and searching, and I haven't seen my holder online.
Yeah.
So I
Oops.
decided to publish my holder online, design and put it online. So that way, it would block anyone from trying to produce my work.
Right.
And
No,
I did that this year, by the way.
right. It's getting dark here.
What's that?
But now it's getting dark here because in Mexico it's raining every day. No, but you can count on my help. I mean, I for me it's a pleasure to get the truth out because many people they don't know what's actually going on with all those companies and governments and whatever. And it's great to have you here to expose your story and. Actually, people should watch it and also question the system because it's, I mean, it's incredible what's going on this planet. Okay, is there anything more about that story, or can I ask you about what's going on? Because you told me your target individual.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Okay, uh,
Basically about the story, that's basically it. But
okay,
what I want to draw a parallel to is that I was pushed out
hmm,
of my work and I was brought into this program. So I want other TIs to understand targeting is not random. It can be very specific.
hmm,
If you're a writer, like for example, Sophia Stewart, the original author of The Matrix and Terminator, her work was stolen and she won in court and they're still not paying her.
yeah,
There's another woman by the name of Seven who is the author of Dancing with the Stars, Quickly Come Dancing.
uh huh,
They did the same thing to her. The man in the Bronx right now that's suing Jay-Z
yeah,
over the same thing that he created the Rockefeller logo and he's not being paid. There's a whole host of people from scientists, doctors, alternative doctors, musicians, Sly Stone
hmm,
was homeless and on the street. And this is what they did to me. They forced me into the shelter system. And
yeah,
I went through the most horrendous kinds of abuse in the New York City shelter system. And what they try to do is they try to make you appear insane. So that way, if you ever try to sue, when you realize what's going on, and you try to sue them, they could say, no, you have a history of mental illness when it was all engineered.
uh huh,
What was done to me? The second part that I wanted to let the targeted individuals know is that targeting is not random. It
yeah,
can happen to anyone for any reason. And mine occurred because I went to that guy. What he did is he sold my work and he sold me into this program. And my life was destroyed. They employed a whole network of people around, okay, to ensure that my life would be destroyed. The UN
yeah,
is not outside of it. The UN is part of it. And I'm right now appealing to the Secretary General of the United Nations, Ban Ki-moon, to review my case, to look at my case.
yeah. It's a
They
huge case. Uh
also
huh.
came up with an interactive media platform for the UN, and that was subsequently stolen because I didn't know then that I was live online. And the other thing they did, they
Hmm.
put me live on camera, and so that way people would know who I was, and then made me a pariah in the media so that people would hate me, right? And that way they would make it easier to get away with doing my work.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens. So this is why I'm coming out, because I want the target community to understand. They need to really sit down and think, listen, did you ever create anything? Did you ever write anything? Did you ever invent anything? This is why you're in this program.
Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Give me a second, because it's raining very hard. I'm back in some seconds.
Yeah, yeah.
Close the window. Okay, I'm back. I just had to close the windows because it's raining. I mean, everything is going crazy in these times. I mean, the weather, the behavior of the people, and like you said, shelter and everything. Many people there are getting homeless. The government doesn't care, and I mean, I have so many friends on Facebook also that I mean, they had a great life before. Now they don't have anything. I mean, it breaks really my heart because uh, it's people, it's life, you know, and it's not fair what's going on. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, many people are losing everything.
Yeah,
Many people are losing everything to these corporate conglomerates that are consuming
uh,
everything,
that's right.
including a person's intellectual property, and basically impoverishing the person for their intellectual property. And if not their intellectual property, their property,
Right.
right? So this is the climate. This is the climate that I walk into,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'm not gonna stay quiet.
No, no, we have to defend ourselves and fight back because if we are like running away and giving up, it's getting just worse for us because nobody cares. People are thinking we are the crazy people. I mean, I see it by myself since I'm making all those posts and making the live streams and videos like one now with you, for example. I mean, that keeps me also alive to talk because if I just try to have a normal life, I not even won't have it anymore because once you're awake, you see the things different. You see who is cheating on you. You know, you see that the government is not helping you. It's. I mean, so messed up world right now, and yeah, we have to keep going on, talk about it because we are also more and more. I think the real help what we have is in each other. I try to help you now with that video, and maybe
Thank
or oh, you're welcome. And for sure, many other people who are watching this, they maybe they feel that is also happening with them, and we should join each other because in this world we are living in a world of separation. There's almost no more unity. You know, everybody is just working and going home, sleeping, eating, working, and but there's no life anymore. You know, I mean, I see that in Mexico. I don't know in your country, but in Mexico, many people are dying before they reach the third age, before they retire with 50 something years or 60, and they have worked their ass off the whole life, and at the end they cannot even enjoy the last days. You know, there's no savings anymore. People live on daily basis. Let's say, I mean. My case, I told you, and before we made the program, I mean, I don't know what's going on next month. You know, this month I could pay the rent, and I'm surviving, in the line, but I don't have a future right now. I don't know what's going on next month or next year. I don't know it, and that wasn't before. In the past, everybody had um, some future. They made plans. For example, I was born in Germany. We plan like a year ahead the vacation, and we had the money to pay vacation, to pay the tickets months before. Now, I mean, there's not even the money there to buy any more tickets to make a great vacation. I mean, it's not looking well what the time we are living in.
Hans, that's very funny that you said that because more and more people are finding themselves in that predicament.
Yeah.
You know, we have like, for example, many people are losing their land. Many farmers are losing their land.
Right.
Many people are losing their homes. Many people bought homes and are losing their homes. Many people are losing their jobs. There's no job security. There's no home security.
Right.
Farmers are losing land. I mean, and this is global. And now the battlefront is for intellectual property because that's where the money is.
Exactly.
It's not enough for people to steal someone's home. It's not enough for them to steal, their land. It's not enough for them to steal someone's resources. They even want their brains, their
Mhm.
intellectual property. Your intellectual property is not even secure anymore.
Mhm.
Your privacy is not even secure anymore because they violated mine. They
Right.
put me, in New York City. I was on live international television.
Uh-huh.
And I found out when I started working at the UN. When I went to go work at the UN, they told me, they were like, look, this is what we did to you. Ha, ha.
Mhm.
And they basically laughed. So this is how I found out what was happening to me. It violated my privacy. They stole my work. I had emails coming in from India of people telling me, hey, look, you need to be careful. This is what they did to you. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, this is what was done to me. And it was going on for years.
Yeah.
So what happened to me was that a network of criminals, because criminal network of criminals was basically deployed around me. And I believe because I used to love going to Central Park in the drum circle in Central Park. And I believe that they targeted me from Central Park because I used to love going to Central Park.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's the one, you go after her or whatever. They did. you know.
Uh-huh.
And from there, progressive infiltrated my life and destroyed it. Everything that I tried to do, they found a way to destroy it.
Yeah.
You know, I through my friend again, I met this woman named Magdalena Cooper, and she was one of the pivotal ones in where my life is today.
Uh-huh.
I should not be home today. It was engineered, and I'm not afraid to say that. It was engineered. Again, why? Because they want to show these companies do when they want to steal your intellectual property, they destroy your life. So they can say in court, if you ever decide to sue them, oh look, this is the history of homelessness, mentally ill. So, judge, you toss out their lawsuit. When they're the ones that engineered it.
Mhm. Hmm.
They and basically engineered because a woman named Magdalena Cooper, who is supposed to be a philanthropist, whatever that means, she said to me one day, I knew her for a little while, and she said one day to me, this is what she said. On one day, she said, you are going to be famous worldwide.
Mhm.
I was like, what? What is she talking about? I was like, does she know me? I
Hmm.
said, if she knew me, she would know fame is not important. Not knowing she was employing double speak, meaning I'm going to set you up and put you on camera globally,
Mhm.
and the whole world watch you like the Truman,
Mhm.
right? But when she said it, seems as if you're going to be famous, like fame it isn't what we know. The second thing with this same woman, Magdalena Cooper, is that let me introduce you to her. Basically, she's supposedly the Manhattan socialite. The CEOs, you name it, she knows them. CEOs of every major corporation. She
Mm-hmm.
knows. Again, it's not far-fetched that people get my work. If this woman has connections to all these, executives, it's not far-fetched that Steve Jobs could get my work. Okay, even though she came later, it's the interconnectivity of these people is clear. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, this same woman, Magdalena, that I didn't think she was one of the agents then. I know now. This woman, Magdalena Cooper, was the one who basically was like in these circles telling these wealthy people, oh, I found Rainetta on the street, I picked her up and I cleaned her up and I presented her to society. She was homeless before. And when we go out, I would have these executives saying, oh my God, I'm so happy, you're so healthy. And I'm like, okay, what? Where are you getting this from? They said, oh, my dad told us we were on the streets. I was like, I'm not homeless. Where are you getting this from? And they were like, Magdalena Cooper. And I was like, she has to stop telling people that you got me off the streets. I'm not homeless. I was like, Magdalena Cooper came from the streets. She came from Liberia, a war-torn country, and she was basically living on the streets and projected that on the king. And she went around in these social circles telling people that she got me off the streets. So this woman basically engineered my life's right? So this is why I'm coming out and I'm speaking out for the targeted community to let them know, look, this program and what's going through is engineered by people.
Mm-hmm.
I am living it, and I've lived mine happened to have happened because of 50 years ago going to Music Insider about the iPod and the Kindle.
Mm-hmm.
You
Wow.
know?
It's a great story. I admire you that you're still strong. Oh, better here. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I will upload that video as soon as possible. Maybe I will have lights out here too because it's very strong weather right now. But you count on me and please send me. Meanwhile, I upload the video, all the links, so I can put them down on the video here. Anyway, video right now, YouTube, they will have every information visible there. And yeah, and whenever you need more, I'm there for you. So there's the
Oh,
unity,
and thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, because many people, they have fear to talk about what's going on. They think, if I talk, they will kill me or whatever. But I think it's more the opposite. I'm doing that now since years, and I'm still alive because with the time people know who you are, and it's more difficult that they take you out. But if you're running away and being shy and whatever, then it's so easy that you disappear one day. Now we are like public people,
Yeah,
and that saves our life, I guess. So
right.
yeah. Don't give up. Be strong. I'm in the same direction here. I mean, it's the only way to survive. To talk, explain to the people what's going
Cool.
on.
Can I just give my email, my contact information if anyone wants to contact me, and we can call it a
Okay.
night,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so they can contact me at gijane0001@gmail.com.
Okay, perfect. Anyway,
So
send me.
gijane001@gmail.com. It's actually getting kind of like noisy in the background. They're doing it on purpose. So
Yeah.
I think we should just we could probably call it a night if you want.
Okay, don't worry. Anyway, send me also all the, for example, the email and everything on Facebook inbox, so I
Yeah.
can add it to the video here. And for if people don't understand well the sound, then they can just find all the links down. Okay, don't hang up. I will just say goodbye. And okay, thanks so much, people who were watching this. Share it also, please. I mean, there are so many Facebook groups also about all this targeting and whatever. I mean, feel free to share. We don't charge you any money for that. I mean, this is just to help you, that video and all the work we are doing, like you and me, for example, right now. And thank you so much for next time. Have an words to close the program?
Yeah, sure. Hans, thank you again so much for this spontaneous
Yeah.
interview.
You're welcome. I mean, this is it. I mean, we are not those people who are like VIP, that you have to make an appointment like 1 month before. I mean, I mean, I have more time now being in that situation than ever. Because yeah. So I use the time and I have it and I get something important to say. I do it right away. So, like, you saw it with you. We had a little conversation on Facebook and I say, you want to talk? Yes, okay, let's do it. And this is
Yep,
the point, because other people, they even charge for their shows. I mean, or they're trying to sell something. I mean,
right.
it's like, I mean, there's always both things. Some people make it for business, some people make it for helping, and in my case, it's for helping because I don't earn any cent for that. Okay, thank you so much again, and yeah, much luck with everything. Count on my help. Whatever I can do, yeah, send me an inbox and let's make later another program or whatever. And okay, that's it. See you later, people.
Bye, Hans.
Bye bye.